Yes, yes, it's the Heat Sirius XM. I am Mina SayWhat. Welcome to Mina's house. I am so excited. Big Freedia, the Queen Diva, is joining us once more. Hey, boo.
Hey, honey, you already know.
Listen, you look fabulous and ready for Christmas.
Yes, honey, I'm definitely in the holiday spirit. I'm just ready for 2020 to be over.
Are we all?
Yes.
When I knew that you were coming back on the show, I was thinking because, last time we spoke, you were talking about how touring is so much of your moneymaker and clubs and, being out in the streets. And that's really how you really created a large fan base. Like now there's none of that. Like, how has that hurt your business?
It has hurt it a whole lot. I've just had to step back and look at everything differently and, look at my books and start to rebrand myself and just figure out ways to make money and to, continue to put out great material.
I mean, no one was prepared for this, but when you literally could not tour anymore, were you worried? Like, did you have money in the bank? Like, were you panicking? I mean, a lot of artists have really changed their lifestyle because of what has happened during the pandemic.
It was a little bit of both. I was just nervous on, not knowing what's going to happen. But I just take it as it comes. And, I started to figure out other ways to make money
Right.
and, a lot of virtual performances. So, things were, on the fence with it, but through the grace of God, I've been making it, and I'm still here, and I'm okay.
Are you on OnlyFans shaking some booty?
I need to be. I need to be, girl. Let me start my OnlyFans. Hold up.
We waiting on that, Big Freedia.
All right, Mina. Listen, I was talking about starting. Me and my dude was having some issues with that child. He was just, I'm like, look, boy, these bills got to get paid. You tripping.
Then put him on OnlyFans.
Hello. He's already all over the internet, so I don't need him on OnlyFans.
Who you dating, girl? What's going on?
Girl, that's too much tea. We'll talk about that off air.
So, like a lot of artists, you've transitioned into figuring out some way to make money. You have a book, girl. God Save the Queen Diva. Big Freedia's book is out right now. It's a memoir, right? Your first book?
Yes. It's talking about, me growing up as a kid and some of the things that I had to face growing up, and currently up until, about 2015 and the losing of my mom, the struggle in the music game. It talks about a life. It's my story. And I'm happy for it to be re-released on paperback this week. And I'm getting great reviews. People are loving the book once again. And it's a great time for it to come out. A lot of people are stuck inside with nothing to do. So readers are out there definitely pumping the book, and I'm excited about the book.
You an author now, boo. Like, how does that feel?
It feels good, just to have that title as well to go under my name. It feels really good though, just to be able to have a platform to put my story out there, and hopefully it helps some young gay boy who's still trying to find his way, or trying to find his way in the music game, or trying to, help a mom who's trying to build her relationship with her kid.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that readers are able to take away something that can help in their everyday life, but they also get to know my story, what I faced growing up, and where I'm at now with it.
It's the Heat Sirius XM. Big Freedia, the Queen of Bounce, is joining us. Hey, there's a lot of bouncing going on these days, Freedia.
It is. Everybody bouncing.
Thank you. So, while we're sitting here watching people bounce their ass literally on the internet all day, you have released a book, God Save the Queen Diva. It gives me a lot of like The Crown, Netflix vibes, with like the Queen in England. How did you come up with that title?
I actually got the title from the Sex Pistols. They had a book that was titled, using similar title, and I just changed it, and I put God Save the Queen Diva, and so that's where the title come from, the Sex Pistols, which was a very big group back then, and I wanted to use something that was kind of relevant. And we all want God to save us one way or another, and
Hello.
it's a perfect title for my book.
I was going to say that because you talk about literally the church's influence in your life and how you grew up loving the music of the church. So it really just really sums up your book,
Yeah, it definitely does. Church is my background, where I come from. I was a choir director for many years, directed at my high school, had my own choir, sung with many choirs in New Orleans. So it's definitely a big part of my life and my story.
Yeah. So in your book, you talk about how really New Orleans bounce music really influenced you, and you talk about how it changed your life. What drew you to bounce?
The sound, the sound and the people of New Orleans, and going to the middle school dances and high school dances, and being with my friends and the girls, we twerking and flipping on the wall and stuff. That was the fun times, and that's what drew me to it. It was something that was, an underground thing here in New Orleans, but everybody knew it. Everybody loved it. Everybody wanted to hear the sound. And when Katie started to do bounce music in '98, that's what really drew me to the sound, because I went to help Katie and background Katie, and go to the studio and make music and create sounds. So that's what really got me into the game. But I always did love the sound of bounce music.
And like, how did it help you develop as a person? Because that you talk about that a lot in your book.
Well, it helped me to find who I am, who I wanted to be. It just helped me find my path. It gave me a chance to be expressive and be who I wanted to be. It was a fun, free spirited music. And as growing up in New Orleans, this is what we knew and breed. We twerk from babies to grandmothers. And, it's just a big part of the culture here.
So you also talk about some really difficult things about your upbringing in New Orleans. I obviously I've talked to you about how I love the culture and I love the food, but talk about how your book really just explains what your life as a gay person living in New Orleans trying to, figure out your life. Like, how was that?
It wasn't so easy, just being Black and gay and in the community. It wasn't accepted back then, especially in the, early 80s and 90s. It was something that was whispered about. People didn't talk boldly and have conversations about being gay. I was picked on, I was called names, I had to fight, and all of that just built me to become stronger and to become who I wanted to be. And my mom used to always say, you better go out there and show them who you are, stand up and be a man. And that's exactly what I had to do. Fight for my rights and fight for who I wanted to be. And the book explains every little detail of, some of the things that I went through.
Yeah. And some of the names that you were called, I just, even reading them, I'm like, I can't even imagine as a kid having to have people call you these names. Like, how do you even deal with that,
Once I figured out that they wasn't going to stop, I started accepting it. And when I started to accept it, they were messed up in the head. They would be quick to call me a sissy or a fag or whatever. And I'd be like, thank you. And it was like, he just said, thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Because now you don't have nothing else to say. What else are you going to say? So I kind of, used a little bit of reverse psychology and flipped it on them. And things started to look up for me once I accepted who I was, and couldn't let nobody tear me down,
Girl, listen, you are powerful and it is amazing that you're sharing your story. We're going to continue talking to Big Freedia, the Queen Diva. Her book, God Save the Queen, is out right now. I want to talk about the Hurricane Katrina situation because I learned something about you from your book that we're going to talk about on the way. It's Mina's House on the Heat, Sirius XM. Big Freedia joining the house today. So I knew that you had survived Hurricane Katrina. We knew that you lived in New Orleans, but what I did not know was that you were actually living on a roof for 2 days with other adults. Like, can you talk about that? That is like so heartbreaking to read.
Yeah, we had to go through it. At the time of Katrina, it was straight survival moments, and we had to wind up cutting and bamming a hole in the roof that took a very long time with a hammer. and just pounding and pounding away until we got it open. Once we did get it open, my uncle went on top of the room and on top of the roof and took tape and started spelling out how many people were in the house, trying to get the attention of the helicopters. We had to get rescued by a boat. We slept on the bridge. We slept at the convention center. We got rescued by a big old cargo plane, the kind that the Army jump out when they're jumping out the sky. We were rescued to a campground. Then we went to an Army base. Then I went to Shreveport, Louisiana. Then I went to LaPlace, Louisiana. Then I would move to Houston. Then I moved back to New Orleans. So my life was just all in shambles, trying to figure out where I was going to live, what I was going to do, how I was going to rebuild. Needed furniture, needed clothes, needed food. It was just, survival moments. And me and my uncle and my sister and my brother and my newborn niece, we did what we had to do. And we made it through by the grace of God.
And then the Beyonce blessing came after all of that, the formation, right?
Yes. Beyonce came and threw a queen on the track.
Right.
I'm forever grateful for that. And I will forever be grateful for Beyonce for, allowing me to be a part of the project and something really big and special for the culture and for New Orleans. And it changed my life and it changed the course of my career. And I'm forever grateful.
So you went through all of that and then the blessing came. So seriously. Now, I know
you go through the struggle to get to the blessing.
That's exactly it. So, if I ever wrote a book, I feel like there would be things that I would really struggle with to open up about, things that I haven't even figured out in my head, let alone put it in a book for everybody to read. What were those moments for you? What topics were really hard for you to really dive into?
Honestly, just the whole book, being that I'm now telling my story to the world and opening up and being vulnerable. But it also, gave me the power to be able to let some things go and to move past some things. And to, so the book was also therapeutic, where it gave me a chance to feel these emotions and figure out how to overcome them and deal with them and put them in perspective. So it gave me a balance of both, letting go and recovery from some of these things. And I think that the book was just tough all around. I had 3 months to do it, so I had to really gun and do it. I had to go back to a lot of these different neighborhoods and look at the places where I grew up and went to school and went to church and bring back all the old stories and memories, and sometimes it was fun to bring up all the stuff and sometimes it was sad. So it was an emotional roller coaster that I went on, and I'm grateful that I was able to do it and tell the story.
Yeah, because there's some things I just wouldn't even be able to touch. So I'm sure some things were difficult to even unpack, especially your mom, revisiting stories about your mom. You dedicated the book to your mom. Your mom has passed. That must have really been difficult for you
that
to
was
even
the
think
toughest.
about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the toughest. And just my relationship with my stepdad growing up and how I was treated, that was pretty tough. All the names that I was called, all of that stuff was tough because all of that brought back memories of what I went through. And so I had some really tough moments, but it also, like I said, gave me a sense of relief that I'm past all of that. And I can now finally get a chance to, tell the world what's going on with me.
Yeah, and then help somebody else who might be in the same situation,
Yeah, most definitely. And like I said, it may help somebody who's still trying to figure out where they want to be, or they may have a kid that this way, or, it will help somebody along the way. And people have definitely came to me and told me what an inspiration the book was. And, they're still trying to figure out their path and their story. So hopefully it will help quite a few people.
It's the Heat Sirius XM. I'm Mina SayWhat. Big Freedia, the Queen Diva, is joining us, the Queen of Bounce. Get it right. The book is out right now. It's called God Save the Queen Diva, very appropriately. So, Freedia, Now that we're in this pandemic, we see a lot of people shaking their ass on the internet, right?
All the time.
It really has become a thing while people have been locked down. Who do you think is the best twerker on the internet right now?
The best twerker on the internet right now. Oh my God. I got asked that question earlier. Where the best twerkers at in the world? A lot of people are twerking right now. I haven't really looked at it that way to see who's the best twerker, because you got so many damn people out there. But if everybody loving my girl Meg, she's definitely a good twerker. She got some good old knees over there, baby.
Yes. She don't need no Bengay, okay?
No Bengay.
I was gonna say, because and it's so crazy how literally, like, even when Cardi B released WAP, and we see all these women dancing and singing about certain things, and how people reacted to that, like as if they've never seen women twerking or even singing about some of the things that they're singing or rapping about.
Oh, girl, please. All that stuff being rapped about.
Right.
Come on. You had Lil Kim, Foxy Brown.
Mm-hmm.
You had some heavy hitters talking shit way back then. So this ain't nothing new. This is just, newer generations, but everything is just much more bolder and in your face now. And social media has that platform to have everything really in your face. So I think that's where it just comes with, back then it wasn't so much social media back then when all the other rappers came out, and now you have it on every platform, and it just makes it more visible,
Yeah, and more people are critical, like, oh, all you doing is twerking or shaking your ass.
All they want to do is judge.
Yeah. So, Freedia, you know that your song "Make It Jingle, Make It Jiggle, Make It Jiggle" is a part of my family tradition every Christmas. Okay, we get on that Just Dance, and my mama, who's 61 years old, all the way down to my godson, who's 5, we be making it jiggle. Okay. So I just love you and what you do with Christmas. I know that you're like a big Christmas person. I see it decorated all up in your house. You have this new Christmas song. Tell us about it.
Better be big, better be new, better be red bottom shoes, better be eyes, better be blue, better be Benz coming through, better be. Yes, featuring Flo Milli. I got a new Christmas single that's out right now. The Christmas EP drops on tomorrow. I'm super excited. I'm spitting bars. I'm having a great old funky Christmas time, and giving people something new and fresh and funky for the holidays in their house to lift their spirits up. We've had a really rough year, and I want to continue to bring joy into people's lives. So this Christmas project is very dope, and I can't wait for it to come out tomorrow. Yeah.
So the Christmas project is called
Smoking Santa.
Smoking Santa. All right. So make sure you check it out. You are a part of our holiday every year, Big Freedia. Seriously. And even before I interview, I was so excited about that because you really bring our family together and we dance because of your song that is now on Just Dance. So thank you for joining us. You got a lot going on. People need to check out the documentary on Peacock, right?
Yes.
And then also the book.
Yes, also the book, also the new EP.
Mm-hmm.
I have a cookbook coming out really soon.
I'm working
on my restaurant. I have a lot going on, so be looking. The queen is not stopping. Okay?
No, okay. Big Freedia, the Queen Diva, thank you so much for joining us. It's Mina's House on the Heat Sirius XM.
Thank you, Mina. Much love, my honey bun.